Hey guys, this is gladiator with a new YouTube video. Today we are going to talk about, for me, the biggest disappointment of the year. Even with the coronavirus and all the shit happening in this world, the biggest disappointment in this world this year for me was The Last of Us Part 2. So this video is called Last of Us Part 2 Good, Bad and the Ugly. We're going to talk about the good, bad and the ugliest details of the game. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and push on notifications. So when I release every awesome video, you will be the first to know, and make sure that you don't miss it because it will be awesome. So when I look at the videos throughout the internet, what I see about Last of Us Part 2 is hate after hate after hate. But I'm going to start this video with the good things. First of all, the gameplay. I think the gameplay has been well improved from the first game. I think it adds a more realistic nature, which I always thought the gameplay in the first part is not the gameplay, it's the entire design of the levels felt a bit video gamey, like stacked different parts for Joel could stealth around purposefully. But this time it feels more natural that so this is where the table should be. This is where the table is. This is a chair. And all those things, this is a window. And all those things feel natural and part of a real building other than being a part of a video game level. So that's very good. And the final level, which was very great. I loved that final level. It was so many diverse choices that you could go through, different ways to finish the level, and I like that. If every level was that, maybe people wouldn't have hated this much. And the physics for this game is top notch. Animations, wonderful animations. Graphics, the best I have ever seen in any game. I never thought I would say game besting Red Dead Redemption 2, but that's what I saw in this game. And weird thing, when every good game comes out, you will expect some part of that good game to transfer into other AAA titles that you will be playing in the future. The Last of Us Part 2, that was the workbench animations. The animations where Ellie or Abby upgrades their guns, and there's a sweet animation that plays out attaching the scope or reducing recoil, and I absolutely loved that. I need more of that, and I will be disappointed when I see the newer games not implementing that, but I'm sure they will make up for all the other things. So that's it for the good stuff. Here we go, the bad stuff. The story. I still don't know how they could fuck up this story. They had so much different ideas, so much ways they could have done this better, but they chose this fucking way. And I am so disappointed in that. The story is so depressing in a way that is not good, not a good feeling. I did not play and felt depressed in that game, and I couldn't say that it's a good game. It's just bad story. That's all I felt. Bad. The story basically had pacing issues. The flashbacks that pop out of nowhere felt like no purpose. But I will say this, the flashbacks of Ellie were some of the better parts about the game. That scene itself, not the that ruined the pacing of the entire game, but the scenes were well done. And the thing I hate the most, Naughty Dog's expecting us to sympathize with Abby after we get to see Joel killed off like that. Oh, that's so bad. That's such a cheap move. I do not agree with that. I liked Abby as a character, don't get me wrong. I liked her. Uh, it took some work if I had to forget all about Joel and Ellie, what she does to them. Abby is a good character, but seeing what she did to Joel, and I did not get to enjoy her as much. Maybe they should have tried a different way, or try killing Joel towards the middle or the second half of the games in a different way. This way, it's just bad. Striking him with a golf club, bad. That's a bad idea. And Jesse's death, they just knock him off. That's very bad. And the ending flashback with Joel is not as good as Naughty Dog thought it would be, or hope it would be. I don't know what's going on with that. It was not that fulfilling, and I never expected them to work with flashbacks to be that good after seeing Joel die, and it was exactly not that good. And the plot, I don't know what's going on with this. In the first game, we played as a man who was lost his family, lost his hopes, and turned entirely in the dark ways of life. And he had never had any good idea. He was never a good man. He always smuggled stuffs and do bad things to survive in the world. And while smuggling a young lady called Ellie, he found he found his family. He found his hope. He found love for his daughter coming back to him. He felt like he got his daughter back through Ellie, and he was not gonna give up on that, even it meant him losing the world. Even if it meant him fucking up the entire human being series. Here we go. This is the ugly. This is Naughty Dogs doing very bad things for this video game to be succeeded. Naughty Dogs only focusing on shock value was a very disappointing move by them. A good shock value can be done extremely well done. I think the best example of this, not from a video game, it's actually from a movie called Departed. If you haven't seen it, you should. It's fucking awesome. Uh, in the end, a main character dies. Okay, I'm going to spoil the movie for you. Main character dies abruptly, like in a just a millisecond, and that actually was the most surprising death, and it was the most well done. Everything just changed for a moment, and everything just felt different in a good way. But that's not how I felt in this game. It was very bad, very very bad. It's so bad that I felt not wanting to play the first game again. That's how I felt when 8th season of Game of Thrones was fucked up. I never watched another episode of Game of Thrones ever again. Even the earlier ones, which was absolutely good, but watching that now, knowing how all of this coming to an end, just feels useless. That's how it felt. They made the first game useless, and Joel's efforts to getting Ellie to safety and saving her made them completely useless. That's just bad. And the plot hole about Joel introducing himself to completely strange people is just a joke actually. I hated that. And they manipulating it as to like Abby. They do this so many ways. Giving Abby the good weapons, good opportunity, the best set pieces of the game, and the dog things. Ellie, while forced to kill the dogs, Abby is petting the dogs, constantly playing with them, and it all they're trying to manipulate it, manipulate us, and I don't like it, not one bit. These are ugly details, and they absolutely made no effort to make Ellie likable. People like Ellie in this game because they like Ellie in the first game. I don't think Ellie is a good character in this game at all. But she is a good character because how good of a character she was in the first game. We get a glimpse of that in the second game. That is also well done. So this is very interesting. So critics actually like this game. Yeah, on Metacritic, if you look at it, there's about 98 or something like that in the Metacritic rating, while the normal common people only gave it about 4 or 5. And personally, I believe this game is worth 6-ish with a very good gameplay and all the details. But the stories, man, it's just so bad. The pacing, oh, so bad. What Naughty Dog forgets is that nobody makes these games for the critics to enjoy. They're making these games for the normal people. The mass audience can enjoy and play this game. So what's the point if this game does not achieve that? Okay? You should realize that, Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann. You should notice that if the people buying this game is not satisfied by it, then what is the entire point of making all this effort? Is this hard work that you guys went for all these years just wasted like that? You should consider that before making such a rash decision with your beloved characters. In the in this industry, in this mass entertainment industry, you can't even fuck up a villain's death. Uh, what? How would you have felt if Thanos was just killed off like that in the beginning of Avengers Endgame? That's how I felt. I felt disappointed if that was the end of Thanos. That's just bad. In the in the same entertainment industry, a great beloved character who is also most important father figure character in the video game industry just killed off like that, and they expect us to like it, expect us to be happy about it, and like the character that killed our beloved father character. Okay, so that's, I don't know what else to tell you. That's one of the most stupidest decisions I have ever seen. Like I said, I did not expect Joel to survive in this movie. Sorry, in this video game. I just expected a better death, a better tribute for his character. Even Abby killing him could have worked in a many different ways. They should have done this. So this is how I feel. I feel like the evolution of video game storytelling that was at a peak. Okay, at a peak from Last of Us Part 1, Red Dead Redemption, even GTA 5. Okay, said it GTA 5. It had a good story too. Prove me wrong. Okay, it was put to a halt by Naughty Dogs. When the people would always come to ask me what's a good story in a movie, I would say the best story today are in the video games. I show them Witcher 3, Last of Us Part 1, Red Dead Redemption, and many other story games. And it's proof that video game storytelling is so much more immersing that movies could ever be. Which that's my opinion, by the way. I thought the better movie storytelling occurred in the 90s or something like that. When was the last time you saw a movie as good as Goodfellas? Okay, please let me know in the comments if you can still find a movie that compares to Goodfellas in the recent years. Okay, so this is interesting. The world is brutal. Okay, the Last of Us Part 2 world is brutal. but it fails to convey the message properly. It fails to convey the message that revenge is bad, the violence ends, violence should end, and you can't fight violence with violence. It's just, come on, it's not good. Ellie gets absolutely nothing in this game. Absolutely nothing. She's broken soul. She lost everything. While Abby gets to live safely, but she loses her friends. But it does not feel like they are both given the same treatment or same love and respect that they should get. Abby's given all the love, Ellie's put aside. It's not the way it should have been. Okay guys, so that's it for this video. This got a bit longer than I expected. So please let me know in the comment, ask any questions about this game. I will be happy to answer you. Any questions? 100% excited to discuss this with you. What are your thoughts? I will be replying, I will be discussing because I want to know more about this. I was a bit late to play this game, and I worked so hard to stay off from the spoilers and the leaks, and this is what the game I get. So disappointed.